Hey guys and girls, and welcome to episode 31 of Moviefiles, 100 movies in 100 days. Today we'll be looking at the movie Resident Evil. Yep, that Resident Evil. Now, for all intents and purposes, this movie wasn't that bad. But in a sense, there's a reason why it's received overwhelming hatred from everybody, because it spawned sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel, one shittier than the last. Literally to the point where the majority of the film can be categorised under three things. Jovovich getting partially nude because everyone wants to see a nipple, Jovovich kicking zombie ass, and Jovovich having a cliffhanger ending, because apparently saving the world doesn't take one movie. Yay! Now, Resident Evil is a 2002 movie written by Paul W.S. Anderson, who's Jovovich's other half. It stars Jovovich, Michelle Rodriguez, and Colin Salmon. It's the first installment of the Resident Evil film series. Yay! 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 Originally set to be a more visceral version of George A. Romero's project Dawn of the Dead, Romero was fired in pre-production due to creative differences with the others about where the direction of the franchise would be going. Borrowing elements from the Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 film series, and also the Code Veronica, if you count the fact that there was a character by the same name of Alice in that game. Kind of annoys me the direction they took it afterwards. Yeah. The movie follows an amnesiac by the name of Alice, who is the heroine of the story. Band of Umbrella Corporation commandos, as they attempt to go free from a mansion which is full of cybernetics, of a computer that's gone totally and utterly batshit. The film received mixed reviews but gained 102 million from the start. So because of that, it got spawned sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel. Underneath Raccoon City exists a genetic research facility and a hive owned by the Umbrella Corporation. The thief then steals a genetically engineered T-virus. Yay! And contaminates the hive with it. In response, the Red Queen, which is the hive's facilitator, decides to close the hive and kill everybody inside to stop the T-virus from spreading. Alice awakens in a mansion, which is supposed to be the mansion from Resident Evil 1, amnesiac, not knowing what the hell was going on, and tries to figure out where the hell she is. She dresses, because you can't walk around with the nakedness, even though most of the men probably pause that scene to fap to it. She's then subdued by an unknown who introduces himself as Matt Addison, just transferred into a cop for the RPD, which is the Raccoon City Police Department. Because that's what cops do, transfer themselves there when there's a known infection virus thingy going on in a mansion. One of those explain everything, and explain also that Matt is an employee of the Umbrella Corporation, and Alice and her partner Spence are guards for the hive. They are disguised as a couple living in the mansion that she woke up in. And 5 hours prior, the Red Queen shut down the facility, inducing an amnesiac gas to stop anyone from remembering what the hell was going on, to hide the facility. They then go on a train that travels to the facility itself. Reach the Queen's chamber, which is protected by lasers, so it's killing everyone. Literally exploding heads everywhere, and people getting cut into meat pieces. They should save some for a goodie bag. Power fails, opening up the units in the hive, releasing the zombified staff, and lickers. Rain is bitten, JD is killed. Alice regains her memories, and so does Matt. Both are separated from the group. Matt looks for his information on his sister Lisa. Yes, not that Lisa. Okay, one more time. She is tearing him apart. Alice then defends herself against dogs, so basically she probably was a dog trainer in her past life before she became an amnesiac. That's what I'm going by. What? Matt finds his sister zombified. Like, you're tearing me apart, Lisa! Yeah, I had to. Okay, here's the original.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Happy? Yeah, you're happy now? Can we get back to the story? Am I allowed to? Lisa tried to basically smuggle out the evidence of the T-virus to expose Umbrella, and then created the huge catastrophe that contaminated everywhere and everything inside the hive facility. Lisa was intending to bring down Umbrella, and Matt wasn't notified of this, as nobody wanted to actually tell him what the fuck happened, because that's the way things work. Alice and Kaplan activate the Red Queen in an attempt to find an exit and get out of the facility. Kaplan is then bitten, and Alice separates herself, attempting to find an antivirus. Alice remembers that there's an antivirus in the lab, and then arrives and sees the antivirus missing. Spence then regains his memory and realises that he was the one who got the virus and stole it and put it out in the facility, contaminating it. He then hid the virus and the antivirus on the train. Spence is bitten and then traps the survivors in the lab, but he's then ambushed and killed by a licker. Very nice Chianti. No, you didn't get that. Oh, fuck you lot. Matt and Alice are offered to be spared if they kill Rain. His health is fading and has been too long to actually be of use to. A licker attempts to reach them, and Rain tells Alice to kill her. Alice refuses and a power outage occurs. The lab door opens to reveal that Kaplan has disabled the Red Queen. They reach a train, and then Alice dispatches the zombified Spence, who she literally says, "Call this a divorce." Kind of like that. I think, you know, Arnie does it better. Call this a divorce. On the train, she injects Rain and Kaplan with the antivirus. But however, there is a licker on the train that is getting ready to kill them. It claws Matt, and then it kills Kaplan and hurls him from the train. Alice and Matt then battle the licker. Rain turns into a zombie and then attacks Matt, but he kills her. They then open a trapdoor underneath the train where the licker is, and then kills the licker entirely. They escape the hive as the contaminated doors close. At the mansion, Matt's wounds begin mutating as Alice attempts to try and save him. The mansion doors burst open, and a group of Umbrella agents take Matt and Alice, and Matt has been told that he's going to be put into the Nemesis program. Alice attempts to fight them, but is rendered unconscious. Sometime later, Alice is in the Raccoon City Hospital, unknown what's happened to her, and is strapped to a gurney. No memory of what happened to her, she escapes capture. She goes outside to find that Raccoon City is crawling with zombified mutated humans. Realises that the T-virus is contaminated. Realises that this T-virus has contaminated everything, and finds out in the newspaper that there is no hope left. Thus ends the movie. Now let's quickly go to the acting in this movie, and then I'll give you guys a play-by-play synopsis of what I feel this movie needed, or what I feel it could have been. Milla Jovovich played the character Alice rather well. She's a rather new character, as we've basically seen. I thought that she was going to be modelled on the Alice that was in the Code Veronica games, but turns out she wasn't. But yeah, it was a good thing. She played a very nice character. She was pretty good, especially coming off of films like Fifth Element. She was really good in the action hero type role. Michelle Rodriguez as Rain. She's Michelle Rodriguez. There's not really much else to say with her. She's moody, she's depressing, and she just stands there with a face that looks like a freaking wet dog. Seriously, she should have been a bloke. Eric Mabius as Matt Anderson. Yeah, again, it was another one who played a rather very good character and a crucial character to the story. He comes back again in the second movie, which we can talk about when I do the review of the second movie, because obviously I have to. Yeah, I really do. And the fact is, this movie was okay. It wasn't amazing. It didn't set the tone of the story. I think a lot of people wanted to see the characters that they liked. They wanted to see Chris Redfield. They wanted to see, you know, his sister, and they wanted to see Ada Wong. They wanted to see characters that they were familiar with from the video games. They didn't really want to see new characters in the Resident Evil setting. It didn't really work. I can understand why they did it, because, you know, Paul W.S. Anderson really wanted people that were new to the story. He didn't want to be tied down with characters that were already licensed to those games. He wanted to run a story within a story, and it would have worked if they had Alice run a course throughout the rest of the movie alongside the games, to the point where she gets to the point where she's at Code Veronica, being this high entity that could have been dispatched by Claire, but instead they went a different direction, which is fine. In terms of an independent standalone movie, this movie, it doesn't really set your hearts aflutter. It was good. It has some jump scares in it every now and then, but you can't really class this as a horror movie. It's more of an action movie with horror elements. So in general, let me go for the score. I'll give it a 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. I give this movie a 3. Not a surprisingly great movie. It was at least a good one. It managed to set the tone and set the pace for the rest of the franchise, and it also had some interesting elements about it. What was Matt being turned into? What was the process that was going to happen to turn him into this being, this nemesis? I would have liked to seen it. I would like to understand how he was changed into that. We also get to understand who Alice is. Why was she set free? Why was she left in that hospital? Why wasn't she put into the program herself? Why wasn't she tested on? So all those little elements were put there in this movie to figure out exactly who this character is, why she was there, and what her backstory was. They need to flesh that out a little bit more and figure out why Alice was the way she was. But instead they decided to just keep it flat, keep it simple, and just allow the story to progress naturally, in a sense. So that's pretty much it, guys. And you know, if you would like to comment, subscribe to the video as usual. If you feel that I'm right, leave a comment. If you feel that I'm wrong, leave a comment and state why. Literally, I've had enough of people going onto videos going, I don't like your opinion. Just leave a comment. That's all you got to do. Leave a comment and tell me why you don't like my opinion. Give it a thumbs down. Tell me why you're giving it a thumbs down. Just don't thumbs down it. It's annoying. And also make sure you check back for my other videos, because I have loads of vlogs and gaming and wrestling and such. So make sure that you tune in for those. And that's pretty much it, guys, for today's movie file. And check back for episode 32, where I will be reviewing the movie Resident Evil Degeneration. Yes, this show a Resident Evil movie done right. So see you then, guys.